Thank you for this text, and thank you so much for worrying about me. But let me tell you something. To where we have come as a country, what choice do we have? If we keep quiet, if we talk, we die anyway. Which choice do we have as a country? When we go to schools, watoto tunawazaa tukienda kwa shule, pesa za shule zinaibiwa. Watoto wetu hawapati masomo. Watoto wetu wakigraduate, hakuna pesa ya kwenda university. Tukiwasomesha university, hakuna kazi. Pesa za development zote zimeliwa. Ukienda hospitali, wanawake wanazalia chini. Ukienda hizi hospitali, vitanda hakuna. Ukiingia huku, let me ask you something. Kuna mwanamke hapa hii hospitali ninayoishi hapa karibu. Alienda kudungwa shindano ya clinic. Akadungwa shindano ambayo imeexpire. That woman alifikishwa Makadara. She died. Alifura mwili mzima, she died. Until now that woman hakuna justice. Madawa mengi yako kwa hospitali sahi yameexpire. Huyo mtoto amebakia bila mtoto. Kuna wengine walikufa because there is no oxygen. SHA ndo hiyo. It's an agreement between a president and a governor of every county. They are looting money. SHA is not working. And if someone is lying to you, SHA is working. SHA is not working. Go to Coast Region and look at SHA, which is supposed to be a health ya kusaidia wananchi ambayo it's going to last for years. Nendo kaangalia au makaratasi vile yako. It does not make sense. Wamekodisha karumu kamoja, wanachukua makaratasi ya wanatupa kwa like a wire house which is not going to last. We all know that Ruto could not sit on the seat na angalie NHIF kina Uhuru family wakikula pesa na makatels wa Kikuyu wale corrupt wakikula pesa. Alitengeza kitu yake aweke mfukoni, na that is understandable. NSSF the same, NHIF the same. We know SHA is not helping anyone because hakuna vile SHA wanaweza kulipia deni la shilingi 10,000 alafu wakakuletea bili ya shilingi 50,000. Tumeelewa? So that is how it is. So we are going to die anyway. There is no way out. Our boys died 25th June of last year. Our brains were scattered everywhere. What choice do we have as a country? But at least if Kenyans today, they know that I'm dead. They come to learn that Batuli is dead. The Kenyans everywhere, they're going to understand Batuli did not die on her knees. I was standing. But shida ni wale ambao mko manyumbani. You are dying. Munamalizwa na mgonjwa huko. Munateseka na you are dying on your knees. Mimi siogopi. Na najua hata hao watu wa county wanaweza kuja wakanichukua, wakanibeba, wakaniletea vijana, wakanifanya kama vile Bruce. But this is what I'm telling you. Hata mkaniletea vijana, wakanirape. Mkanipasua, mkaniweka chupa kama ule mwanamke alipelekwa kule Pirates Beach. Akaenda katiwa chupa na vipande vya chupa because a critic government. Na kaletoa vijana 20, wakamrape na wakamtia machupa na wakamtia mafimbo. Mimi mtanifanyia hivyo. Nitafika Makadara, nitashonwa, nitarudi nyumbani, nitaichoma na maji ya moto itashikana. Alafu narudi tena ground to come and seek justice. Msifikirie mimi ni Bruce ati mkiniumiza ati mimi nitakaa nianze kulialia huku kwa media. My friend, if the justice was never going to give me justice. A white person always said, when you want to do things better, don't expect other people to do them for you. Do it yourself. Na mahali mutatusukuma mutufikishe. It is the day the Kenyans will come to realize that if we need justice, we need to do it in our own hands. Now, I'm not waiting for my country, in this country, for people to take justice in their own hands. Because that is where the constitution and the law enforcement of this country are taking Kenyans. The law protectors of this country are taking Kenyans. Tumeelewana? So mimi msifikiria ati mkinitumia vijana ati watanirepu vijana 40 niende nishonwe alafu ni hide away. Nitashonwa, nitaimwagia maji ya moto, itashikana irudi. That is the gift you have been given by Allah. Kama tunaweza toa kichwa kizima cha mtu kikatoka, utafikiria kidude chako kimeingia mara 20 kikinipasua nikienda kishona sitaweza kuhili. My friend, mnajua katika jihad Hizi jihad Mtume sallallahu alaihi wasallam amepigana, kuna vita vya Badri, kuna nini. Katika hizo jihad there were women. The only problem with men, they don't want to say how strong women we are. Munakumbuka ule mwanamke alimdefend Moses? Yes, there is those women in the Bible, and there is women who cannot stand up while something is happening. And that is why munaambiwa hata kama dunia itaharibika, there will be always women who are going to be righteous, because there is women who tap to their brain and they know who they are, how they are created. So, Madam, thank you. But where we have reached as a country, if we are not going to push these guys to create a better country for our generation to come, we are going to leave our kids in a very bad country. Look at Kina Beth Mugo. They have did everything with Kina Kibaki to destroy this country, to make sure policy they don't work. Beth Mugo sahi ameretire. Where is she? She's in US, where policies work. They destroy our country for us. After looting our tax money, they go to US, they go to Switzerland, they go to Canada, where policy work. Our businessmen wote, kama Minister of Mining, watoto wake wako wapi? US, Canada, uko ndiko wanakosomea. But they are here to destroy this country for us. We are not going to keep quiet. And they know. They can come for me any day, any morning, day in, day out. I don't have security. I live in Majaoni. They can come. But they will find me standing. And I'm not going to turn down. I was born like this. And I'm always going to repeat this one thing. I'm a cut from a very different cloth. The womb that gave birth to me, God blessed it. And that is why I'm the way I am. Because I'm a daughter of a man. And I'm a daughter who was breastfed by a woman. So I cannot shy down. And these are the most things on our list as Kenyans that we cannot vote for Ruto. Because Ruto, leadership yake ni a bribe. Everything he does, he bribed so and so, this and that, kwa leadership ionekane inafanya kazi. And for that reason, Ruto is not the president we need, because a person who gives bribe to be seen that he's delivering, he's not a leader. That is what I will always say. And that is why I'm saying one term with a very highest voice. And ndio maana I don't think that anyone is allowed to break the law. The politicians we vote, they are the custodian of the Constitution. And they are the protector of the same law that they saw in with. Just because Ruto ameteua mtu aje akae katika tume ya kucompensate the victims of demonstration, it does not mean that Ruto is thinking about us. I don't think Kenyans, we need to be compensated for losing our kids, for our brothers and sisters being shot by Kenya police and the forces of Kenya. What we need as Kenyans is justice, closure, someone to blame and someone to take charge, to be brought on the book for what they did. They cannot kill Kenyans and later they are going to form a committee to compensate the victims. 2 million kwa Baba Ojwang, it is not enough. We have a constitution in this country. We want to see Langat behind bars. We want to see everyone, every police that humiliated Kenyans on the road of demonstration, they need to be behind bars. And that is the reason, as a Kenyan, I'm saying one time. And that is the reason Ruto has to go home 2027. Why? Because I don't believe, and I will never believe, that applauding and championing and defending the lawbreakers of Kenya as leaders, like the way we call them, they are all lawbreakers. In Coast Region, how watoto walipouawa, brains zao zikakuwa scattered on the tarmac road. There is no politician who stood up and said, we came here to lead this nation for the people, not to oppress people for our own greediness. They were supposed to stand down and say what happened was wrong. The constitution was broken. Instead, some politicians told us we need to mourn and move on. The Northeastern guys, we don't forget. We don't move on. And we cannot justify the killings of Kenyans with the previous government. Because if we allow this government to justify the killings of Kenyans because it happened in the previous government, another government will come and they will kill Kenyans, and they're going to justify themselves saying that the government of Ruto killed. If we kill, there is no problem. We cannot go on like that as a country. We have a constitution in this country, and that is why there is no day, and I say it here openly, there is no day I will respect Madam Kome. And I don't have respect for her whatsoever. Either she's a woman, either you are going to brand me saying that I'm an enemy of another woman, I don't care. I only support women who have brains, women who knows why they were voted and why they're there where they are. But Madam Kome, she has a choice no matter how much President Ruto is oppressing her. I believe there is always a time. And any human being has a personal choice. We saw Mhanga making choices that there was nearly costing him his life, but he made a personal choice. But Madam Kome, she has failed us as a nation, and she has failed us as a CJ, and that is why I will never respect that woman. I will never be proud that we had a woman CJ in the seat, because we cannot be applauding for women who are useless. We cannot be applauding women who they don't create a table of leadership. We don't. And for this reason, whenever I sit down like this, I remember Rex Masai. I remember other Kenyans. I remember Kina Kamau. I remember Kina Ojuang. I remember everyone. Those are the sons of the soil. Those are the children of this soil. Those children, those youth, they deserve justice. Those children, they don't deserve to be forgotten. Those kids, they woke Kenyans up for the revolution of finance and the financial freedom on this country which Kenyans are supposed to have, which we are going to champion for. We want a financial freedom where tax and every taxpayer's money we pay, it is counted, and Kenyan can audit and see what they're paying on tax. As far as I'm concerned, until now, Kenya, we have not attained that freedom. We have not attained that democracy we want. Yes, we have moved very far from 2002 to now. There is devolution, there is a constitution, there is different policies. But what we need right now, we need to make those things we passed, they need to tick. Those things, they need to be implemented, amended, and implemented fully. If we are talking of democracy, we cannot have a democracy which is favoring political leaders and businessmen. We need democracy that works for everyone, every Kenyan. And lastly, I'm going to say it, and I'm going to say it loud, and I'm going to repeat this one thing until it sinks in deep in the mind of Kenyans. If you think the politicians who destroyed West Africa, Congo, Liberia, Namibia, Guinea, Nigeria, they were different from our politicians, then you are wrong. Look at the faces we are voting every 5 years term. They have the same signs, the same characters of the West African politicians who destroyed those countries. And if you think we are very far from Western countries, my friend, you are sleeping. Western countries, West Africa is waking up, while East Africa, we are sleeping in a very bad slumber bed. This is one of the reasons that I will never forgive the government of Ruto, whoever it is. And as far as I'm concerned, in this government, we are not supposed to save these criminals again. We saved Uhuru and Ruto from Hague. We will never save Murkomen, nor the rest of the guys from their crimes. They need to uphold and be responsible of what they brought in this government. Every person. And I'm telling you, one day we are going to drag Langat from home to the court. We don't care. Awe akiwa ameretire, amefanya nini? We need justice. We cannot continue killing Kenyans and justify it with political friends. Until today, Obado is walking free. Sharon, she has never attained justice. Monica Kimani, she has never gotten justice. It was favors. We will never continue like this as a country. The rule of law has to be respected. And the constitution we passed in 2010 has to be respected. And we are sick and tired of this sycophants puppet, which has to be controlled from every government that we are voting in. We cannot, and we will not. And this is a sign I don't want to see it in another government. Right now, Adanduale is here saying that 2027 is going to be chaos. Gachagua is saying that 2027, if the votes are going to be rigged, it's going to be like Christmas. We cannot go on election every 5 years term to lose the lives of Kenyans for the recycling these stupid men in seat. We cannot always lose the lives of Kenyans because of what? Never again. Kila siku wanawaambia kuna yule anasikiza anaelewa na kuna yule anasikiza ana complain. I've never portrayed anywhere that I'm tribal. I'm not tribal. By the way, mimi ni mtu mmoja, kitu kimoja wanasema, mtu wangu syndrome. I don't subscribe to that. Na ndio maana kila siku mtu anaangalia content zangu, nasema ukiingia Mombasa unafaa upate meza ambayo imekaa Wabajuni, Waarabu, Wagiriama, Wajaluo, Wakikuyu, because we are all Kenyans. We don't need a table of leadership which is created by few people. So hizi unazoongea hizo ni zako. I'm championing for a country where every Kenyan is going to count. Now I've said this repeatedly. Any Kenyan can be voted anywhere as long as you are living in that county and you are paying tax in that county. Mtu wangu syndrome haiko kwangu.